A paring knife has a short, flexible blade, which is perfect for certain tasks like peeling, poking, pitting, and even paring. And today, Adam's going to tell us which paring knife is a cut above the rest.
It may be small of stature, but it's important in the kitchen, Julia. Because you're right, these have the smallest, most agile blades in the knife block. We tested 8 different models. The blades are all 3 to 4 inches long because in the past, testers have determined that that's the optimal blade length. The price range was a low of $8.76 to a high of $49.95.
Not bad.
Now, we had a brigade of testers. There were men, there were women, there were novices, there were experts, people with different hand sizes and knife skills. And they used all the knives to slice small blocks of cheddar cheese, to peel and slice pieces of ginger, to peel quarter and core apples, to section and peel oranges, and to hull strawberries. Now, they were looking for a couple of different things. Obviously, sharpness, and they tested that by holding a piece of paper up, slicing through, both at the beginning and the end of the testing to see whether it retained sharpness. They were also looking for handle comfort. A lot of times, whatever you're working with, you're holding up. You don't have the stability of a cutting board, and I would love for you to demonstrate that for us. There's a Victorinox knife right there.
All right.
Why don't you try peeling the apple?
All right. Right, I'm holding it up. I would never do this.
Exactly.
So holding it up in the air, this knife is pretty good.
Testers were looking for the handles to almost disappear into their hand so that the blade was like an extension of it. Now, there is a concept in ergonomics called affordance. And what that means really is a simplicity of design that will make a handle comfortable for lots of different hand sizes, lots of different grip positions. And testers felt like that knife had it. That knife with the larger handle is the Shun, and I want you to give that one a try.
All right. Oh, huh. The handle, it's thick on this side and thin over here. It feels like it's making my hand slip towards the blade, so I'm having to grasp it even harder.
That is exactly what the testers said. Now, a lot of times when you're working with a paring knife, you're using just the tip of the blade, so it's got to be sharp from stem to stern. I would love for you to core a tomato with the white one over there. That's the Dexter Russell.
Oh, geez. Oh, wow. I feel like my hand is far away from my thumb, and it's not going through the tomato so well.
That's exactly the case. The testers really felt like the tip wasn't sharp enough on that. Now, there are a couple of other aspects of the blade that testers look for. One is flexibility. So you want a little bit of blade flex to get around those curves. They were also looking for the thickness of the spine. Now, I'll show you. This one has a very thin spine. This one has a somewhat thicker spine. 1.5 millimeters versus 1.2 millimeters.
Wow.
And testers really found that when they were working with the knife that had the thicker spine, it felt duller because they were dragging more metal through whatever it was that they were peeling.
Yeah, it makes it less agile.
Right. So in the end, this was the knife of choice. This is the Victorinox Swiss Army Fibrox 3 1/4 inch spear point paring knife, $9.47. One of the testers even commented that she thought this knife made her knife skills better. That's not bad for a knife that costs less than 10 bucks.
So there you have it. More money doesn't buy you a better paring knife. Instead, go for the Victorinox Swiss Army Fibrox Pro 3 1/4 inch spear point paring knife at just $9.47.
Thanks for watching Cook's Country from America's Test Kitchen. So what'd you think?
Leave a comment and let us know which recipes you're excited to make, or just say hi.
Now you can find links to today's recipes and reviews in the video description.
And don't forget to subscribe to our channel.
See you later.
Alligator.